Here's one of the images from the pre-con class at Photoshop World on concert photography. Now, I love the image. The only thing I'm really not liking is I cut the head of the guitar off. So what we want to do is go to a different image and take that piece and bring it into this image and add it from here. So the first step is we're going to get rid of the background layer, and all I do is I drag the lock icon down to the trash bin. From image, canvas size, we're going to increase the canvas size by 1/4 of an inch. I want to click on the furthest left arrow, and 0.25 will give me a 1/4 inch border. Now, Content Aware Fill is going to do a great job on selecting these areas here and filling it, but it's not going to do too good of a job on the head. So I'm going to grab the marquee tool, draw a very thin selection, then from here, Edit, Fill, Content Aware Fill, click OK. And in a moment, you'll see the results. So this came out perfect here. Select, deselect. This came out perfect down along the edge, but as expected, the head of the guitar obviously doesn't look too good. So we're going to bring in a piece of this guitar. I'm using the lasso tool and just make a loose selection around it. Edit, copy. I'm going to come back to my other image, edit, paste, and there it is. It's on its own layer. Now the angle is obviously off, so Control T on a PC, Command T on a Mac to transform it. And I just want to change it up just a bit. I may have to, I'm going to have to shrink the image itself. I'm pressing the Shift key as I drag one of the handles. Good. Double click in the middle. Good. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Great. Now let's just hide that layer for a moment. Now from here, we're going to get rid of this section here. So let's bring the head of the guitar in. And actually, you know what? Before we go any further, what I want to do is I'm going to make a layer mask out of this area. And just so we know what we're dealing with, I'm going to paint on black. I want to erase the head here. There we go. And using the X key on the keyboard, it's going to let me paint back in. So I'm using white to paint back in my effect. There we go. Good. Now we're right back where we started here without the head. Good. Now go to the next layer. And let's just try to fit it right into place. Control T again. And this is where it just takes a little finessing. Good. And you know what? I'm going to lower my opacity just so I can see what's going on here. Good. The head's actually a little bit lower. Good. Right there. Oh, that'll be perfect. Now I double click to commit the change. Good, now I'm going to take the opacity back to 100%. Now all I care about is just this little edge here. So let's create that layer mask again. I'm going to paint in black. And I want to get rid of all of this. Good, even this area here. And the only thing I want to keep is just the head around. Good. That's it. And set. Let's zoom out to look. Beautiful. Now, to fill in this area here, there's a couple ways we could do it. I think one of the easiest ways is I'm going to take a sample piece of this image here. So let's see. Using the marquee tool, I just want to drag down. Good. And copy that section. I'm going to press Control J on a PC, Command J on a Mac to duplicate that or to copy that selection. Good, now let's get it right into place. And actually, let's put it right behind it. There we go. And once we find the spot, right about there, that looks good. Good, that part's good. So it's this piece here that we have to fix. And again with the finessing, just blend it a little bit. And again, just use the X key on the keyboard to change the colors and just keep going back and forth. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. And this area here is not blending as well as I wanted it to. But I do have the layer mask in place. So if I just keep moving this up and down. And all right. Good. And again, it's going to be a hit or miss. Actually, you know what? That'll be better. I'm bringing it way down. Good. Let's see. Good. And again, this is just something you can experiment with, and you can decide on your own where we want that to be. I'm just messing with it right here, and if I have to, I could always sample another image or another piece. But let's just see what we got here so far. Good. All right, I like that so far. Great. Now from here, what we want to do is copy all of these layers and merge them into one layer itself. So I'm pressing down the Alt key on a PC, Option key on a Mac, and I'm going to click on Merge Layers. That's going to give me a copy of each of these layers into one layer. I'm going to hide those for now. I'm going to zoom back in. Good. And then using the Patch tool, let's just tweak this a little bit more to blend it. Good. So it's a combination of different tools to make the effect that we want. Good. And actually, you know what? I'm going to back out of those areas here. Let's go back up to here. Right about, and again, this is the neat thing about the history, is we can go back to any of the changes we made and just start going back to where we liked, go back to pick one of the areas that we actually liked. Good. I'm just not liking the way, oh, you know what? That's not, the pattern is fine here. Nope, that looks good. I'm just not selecting the areas appropriately. There we go. All right, great. So if we never knew that that area wasn't there, you wouldn't notice it at all. So let's start from the very beginning. So from here, let me hide that layer mask. Good. And so when we started with the original, we added a section, we got rid of the head, and then from here just blended some of the areas in. So that's a real quick way of adding something to an image that wasn't there.